I am as I am. Peace.
There are many reasons why you are forgetful, unnoticed, or simply replaceable, and it comes down to one major thing: you're a nobody. Now, if you're introverted or antisocial, that's not what I'm talking about. I'm pointing out the fact that you have no friends, and or bad ones at that never make you the priority. Your girlfriend is non-existent or your right hand. Hello. And it seems like life is passing you by without remorse. You may be asking yourself, why does it feel like something should have happened already, but they haven't? Why is my life uneventful and full of dead air? The lack of drive and motivation for a better life are the symptoms, while the lack of purpose is the disease. See, the one thing that you must understand about this life is the fact that you must bring value, because without that, you are a nobody. And no, I'm not talking about your Jordan collection or Pokemon cards. I'm talking about the belief that your life has meaning and purpose behind it, that every decision and action you make has consequences for better or worse. You are a man or woman that is disciplined beyond measure, constantly working on your purpose, thus exemplifying what it means to be a valuable person. There is no amount of temptation or discomfort in this world that will make you forfeit your purpose. A person who stays true to what they believe in and keeps their word is valuable.
The Thessalonian you're fighting, he's the biggest man I've ever seen. I wouldn't want to fight him.
That's why no one will remember your name.
I'm not saying that you have to be a remarkable person in this life. What I'm saying is you have to be present in who it is that you are. Stop living for other people and your pleasures. This is the biggest problem with this reality that we live in now. So many things are at your fingertips, and for that, we have a weak society that base their entire personality off emotions and who they stand with instead of who they are on an individual level. Instead of being an individual, people want to ride with a group and have this herd mentality. And if you are trying to work on yourself, you're seen as a tryhard, somebody who thinks they're better than other people just for the sake of being different. This whole idea behind hustle culture and how it's toxic and cringe, I don't think that's the reality. I think the reality is if you're putting all your time, money, blood, sweat, and tears into something that you don't really want to do or have a passion for, that's when it's toxic and cringe and it should be memed. Why are you trying to get into drop shipping or Forex or try to trade on the stock market when you have no idea what the hell it is that you're doing, nor are you even interested in it to begin with?
Starting now, you are a hard, heartless career gal. Go to work, be awesome at it, and don't waste time on foolish flights of fancy. From now on, you are a robot. Beep, bop, boop, or bleep.
There's nothing wrong with hustle culture. The reality is you need to point that focus and drive into the right direction. What is your passion? What is it that you wake up for and live for? Stop living for somebody else's dreams. Stop making that company millions of dollars every single year, if not billions. Instead, do that for yourself. And I understand that might not be easy, especially if you don't have the means or resources to do so. However, when are you going to start? You have to start one day. You have to start someday, because if not, you're always going to stay at the bottom. And that is the reality of living in a capitalistic society. No matter what happens, you will always be at the bottom because your dreams, or your limitations for that matter, are holding you back.
Wesley. Hey. What's up with you?
What do you mean?
Is there, you seem a little pepped up. You all right?
Well, yeah. Yeah. I guess I feel kind of different.
Finding your purpose is something that can take people years to do. And to that, I would say it's because they have no self-awareness. They have no critical thinking skills to really know or actually know who it is that they are deep down inside. In your heart of hearts, you need to understand who you are and what it is that you're about. And that first step itself can be so challenging because you've lived this life so many years and got caught up in the day-to-day bull that you have no idea what your actual interests are or what your hobbies are. You're going based off social media or what your friends like to do. You don't even know yourself. I don't give a damn if you're spiritual or not, if you believe in a higher power or not. You're on this planet for a reason. You need to figure out what that is. Everybody's different. Not everybody's the same, but I would say that your purpose is something that will come very natural and easy to you. Working towards it might not be easy at all, but it's generally very vague and straight to the point. For example, I like to help people. Okay, that's great. You want to help people. Now, the next step after you figure out what your purpose is, now you need to figure out what medium are you going to go into. Are you going to be a doctor, a nurse? Are you going to do something with philanthropy? Are you going to be doing something where on the day-to-day, your job requires you to interact with people in order to help them? And it could be something as simple as being a YouTuber, a blogger, somebody who's on social media who supports people, a counselor, whatever it is that falls within that realm. Whatever medium that you use that is useful and impactful to yourself, that's all that really matters. The most satisfying part about finding your purpose is the fact that everything in your life will become better for it. Now you can actually find real friends or girlfriends or boyfriends for that matter that have mutual interests. You no longer have to stay friends with Toby just because you met him in college. In finding your purpose, you will no longer be a loser. You will no longer be a lame or less of a priority. Now, obviously, that still depends on the types of people that you associate yourself around. However, just by being dedicated to your work, you are more likely to find a more fulfilling life and be more successful overall. The first thing I want to say is the meaning of life is not some type of philosophical thing that no one could hope to understand whether or not you're a philosopher. Once again, it's never really that serious. It's based on what you think and what you make it. It's as simple as that. You can ponder over the idea of what the meaning of life is and what this all could represent, sure, but at the end of the day, you got to get busy living or get busy dying. It's as simple as that. You need to live for something, because if not, you'll be living for nothing. And I know it sounds cliche. I know it sounds irresponsible to say the least, but that's the reality of life. That's the biggest fallacy of life, is the fact that there is no meaning yet there is meaning. There is no purpose yet there is purpose. It is exactly what you make it. You could try to find the meaning of life and think or hope that it would make you a better person, but in turn it wouldn't. Some people will be nihilistic and pessimistic just based on the response. Not everybody is motivated by a reason, and nor you really shouldn't be. Sometimes you got to do to get done. Life is what you make it, but I would be amiss if I didn't say that life and the meaning of life is about constant progression. It's about starting at one point lesser than and finishing greater than. At least that's what I see it as. Your fulfillment, your purpose, and all the satisfaction you derive within that is based on your own individual character.
Advertising has us chasing cars and clothes, working jobs we hate so we can buy shit we don't need. The middle children of history, man. No purpose or place. We have no great war, no great depression. Our great war is a spiritual war. Our great depression is our lives.
I say all that to say this: become someone who is remembered. Stop being a loser. Stop being a nobody. And you don't necessarily have to be known by the world. Just make it important that your existence within your friends, within your family is known. Stick to your word. Act with integrity. Be somebody who is dependable on. It doesn't matter how big of an obstacle or drawback that you face, you are just as determined and motivated as you were when you started. You faced 100 setbacks, well, you're getting back up and starting again until you achieve what you set out to do in this life. You will not get anything unless you feel like you deserve it, but without action, you will still be a nobody. I mean, to a certain degree, it is unfair. People just like winners. That's the way that it is. No matter what it took for you to be successful or known, people just like the end result, and that's the reality. You have to face that and understand that and come to acceptance with that. I'm not saying to be a deceptive person, because that goes against everything I know. Fame is a fool's idea of glory, but you need to be comfortable with the fact that no one cares about your struggle. No one cares about your disadvantages in life. They only care whether or not you make it. You are only seen as valuable only if you make it, only if you are trying to make it. No one is going to see you as a valuable person as coming in number 2 or number 3 or coming in dead last or being the person who almost did it. They only care about if you were the person who did it. Be a person who fights for what they want no matter what, and I swear everything will fall in your favor.